Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Man, I'm so exhausted this week because we have a rough collie puppy. We've had him for a few months now, but he gets us up at around 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. every day. But you know what? He's actually just telling us when he wants to go out, so he deserves a little more praise than just another moaning podcaster. Yes, he is like looking after a baby, but he is equally as cute too. So because I'm loved up with my new best friend, I wanted to look into technology for pets. And in doing so, I recently came across a startup called Scollar, which is innovating far more than just another pet wearable. They're actually re-envisioning the pet industry. And they're bringing together all the separate parts of life with pets, because they believe that they can make caring for your pets as easy as loving them. So I invited the CEO and founder of Scollar onto the show today, and she brings with her 25 years of strategic and financial planning, business development and leadership to the team too. It's a fantastic startup story that includes Kickstarter and IndieGoGo campaigns and much, much more. So buckle up, hold on tight, because I'm going to beam your ears all the way to California so we can speak with the serial entrepreneur, pet fanatic, CEO and founder of Scollar, Lisa Tamayo. So a massive warm welcome to the show, Lisa. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Oh, thank you so much, Neil. I'm delighted to be with you today. My name is Lisa Tamayo, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Scollar. I'm a lifetime entrepreneur. This is my fourth company. We actually sold our first company, which was a software company, to Autodesk. And I've also been in business with my husband for 20 years now, across all of these companies.
Wow, in business with your husband for 20 years. How does that work? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, here's what I tell people, because we get asked that question a lot. We know how to fight, and we know how to fight and keep going. So honestly, there's no one else I'd rather be in business with, because we know each other so well and we have complementary skill sets. He is the technical person. He oversees the technical teams, and I'm business development, strategy, finance. So I build the business. And so it works really well, actually. Now, I wouldn't want to be in business with anyone else, although there are times when, it gets a little heated. But we know how to get through all that.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got the perfect yin and yang thing going on there. Team T for the win.
Yep.
Now, humans have been going crazy for wearable tech for a few years now, so it's only natural that our pets get a slice of the action too. But Scollar is innovating far more than just another pet wearable, and you are essentially re-envisioning the pet industry. But can you tell the listeners about that vision and what you are actually creating with Scollar?
Right. So first of all, the number one concern that our customers articulate is they don't want to lose their pet. So that is something that we're taking very seriously, and we want to be the best tracker on the market. So we have a world-renowned antenna expert who's helped us correctly place the antenna, finally tuning it, and then we've also put in all the latest communication technology, Bluetooth 5.0, 900 megahertz, and Cat-M1 cellular, which is a lower bandwidth and extended range, quicker for people. But beyond that, Neil, what we're doing is we're creating basically a concierge system for pets and pet owners and their pets. Because what we've discovered is, in our own lives especially, there's so much technology available out there, but it's all separate, and you would end up stacking all these collars up on your pet's neck. We want to create the ability for people to have one collar for all of the functions that they have with their pets. And so we've created this open platform to enable that.
Fantastic. Now, I'm fortunate to interview hundreds of startups on this show from all over the world, and I'm kind of conscious that we very often concentrate on the end point and the success rather than the early days of where that idea was born and the endless hours of unpaid work that goes with that.
Yes.
So I have to ask, what was the inspiration behind Scollar, and what set you on your very own startup journey with wearable tech for pets?
It was actually a very practical reason. At the time that we were envisioning Scollar, we had 2 teenagers still at home, 2 cats and a golden retriever, and it was pure chaos. No one ever knew if the pets were fed, when the last flea and tick was. Our golden retriever has an invisible fence collar, which we have to remember to put on and off him every time he goes out in the backyard. And the only way we knew if the battery was dead was because he was back on the fence barking at the dog behind us. So it was this combination of just sheer chaos of living teenagers and pets. And then we just had this stupid idea. We said, well, wouldn't it be great if we could have one collar that did everything? And then the second thing we said was, how hard could it be? And it turns out it's quite hard. It's taken us 2 years of stealth development to get to the working prototype. And now we're on our way. But it was a very practical decision. And honestly, Neil, we can't wait to have Scholars on our pets.
Now, once you had the idea and you knew what you wanted to achieve, you turned to Kickstarter and IndieGoGo. Now, I'm also conscious there might be people listening to this show that are on their own startup journey or thinking about embarking on one. So what has your experience been like on these platforms? Has one fared better than the other? And what's been your biggest learning curve when launching a campaign on these platforms?
For us, it's been a tremendous benefit. Scholar will benefit mostly as a business by lots and lots of people who love the product. And so Kickstarter was a natural extension for us because it enabled us to reach people who are not only interested in new technology, but also people who love their pets and lots of eyeballs. The biggest learning curve doing a Kickstarter campaign is the sheer amount of time involved with building the campaign, promoting the campaign, talking to customers. I mean, I literally worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for 5 weeks. And I don't think people realize when they mount a campaign that they're going to have to put in that kind of effort because these things don't sell themselves. It's a noisy space, so you have to get in there, promote, hit your goal quickly, and then grow your reach, social media boosting, talking to your network. So that was probably the thing that I was most surprised by. But it also had the most benefits, getting more eyeballs to us.
Yeah, I think you're right there. A lot of people don't realise, and there's much, much more to it than just creating a page and uploading a cheesy video, is there? There's a lot more to it than that.
Absolutely.
And I also read a considerable amount of time and effort has gone into your SeedInvest due diligence process to vet your business model and long-term opportunity. But historically, only 1% of startups that apply actually get accepted on SeedInvest. So that is a fantastic achievement on its own. But can you tell me more about your experience here?
Yeah, so the experience of doing SeedInvest, even versus Kickstarter, was quite different. Because SeedInvest and other platforms like this are part of the Jobs Act, they're highly regulated at the federal level. I even have a page on the SEC website now. The whole process is designed to thoroughly vet our company for potential investors, whether they're accredited or non. And so they did bad actor verifications on all of our staff and our board members. They verified my financials. They fact-checked everything I said about the business and had me prove it. So all of the data that was collected now lives on my campaign page. So it makes it easier actually for me to go out and share this information with angels and other people to say, look, all the due diligence is right there. Get on over there and do it. So it was very time consuming at the very beginning. But now that we're on SeedInvest, really my main job is to just get eyeballs onto my campaign page, and SeedInvest does the rest. They pull people down the funnel. So that part is actually quite nice because it takes a little bit of that burden off me, which is more of my job on the Kickstarter campaign. But I don't have to do really on SeedInvest. I just have to drive people to the campaign, and then SeedInvest does the rest. And everyone at SeedInvest is wonderful, delightful, very helpful. They are just as invested in our success as I am. So I feel very supported by them.
So now you're in the fantastic position where you're actually getting this product out there. So just to help people visualise exactly what it is, I mean, how many collars do you have and what kind of technology sits behind them? Can you just talk a little bit about what it is that you're offering there at Scollar?
Yeah, you bet. We have 2 smart collars, Scollar Mini, which is for toy dogs and cats, and Scollar Trek, which is for medium and large dogs. And as I said earlier, one of the main focuses is the tracking. So we've put in Bluetooth 5, 900 megahertz, and Cat M1 cellular. And I want to note also that many of the trackers on the market that have cellular charge a subscription fee. So we put the latest cellular technology in, but we're not charging a subscription fee because customers don't want that. We also have module ports and modules for expanded functionality to things like invisible fences and perimeter barriers. And we'll have a power port which will power external things like your citronella for anti-bark, calming pheromones, or if you want to like put your doggy or kitty in a costume and put little lights around it. And then with the app and the collar, we have reminders and notifications so you can know if your pet's been fed or remember when the flea and tick medication is actually happening. So it's a multi-function collar and it's completely expandable.
So am I right in saying as well that the enabled microchip also allows compatibility with doors, pet feeders, that all work with the Scollar Mini? I mean, what manufacturers is it compatible with, and was it hard to get them on board?
Actually, we figured it out ourselves. So it's compatible right now with SureFlap and PetMate pet doors and SureFeed pet feeders, and they are an RFID that you put, it's subcutaneous, you inject it just under the skin of the pet, and then they can operate the door coming in and out. We basically just put that in the collar. And this is one of the things, we're makers and hackers, Neil, so we figure out, okay, what's the functionality that is required, and then we go after it, and we see if we can figure it out, and then we go and seek the partnerships with people. So we haven't actually spoken with them yet. So we just figured out how to work it and are offering it as a compatibility. We'll do that next. We'll go talk to them next.
Now, I know it's very early doors at the moment for you guys, but I'm curious, have you had any feedback yet? And what kind of feedback have you received from like beta testing?
Yeah, so most of the testing that we've done has been on our team's pets. And as I said earlier, we honestly cannot wait to have scholars on our own pets. So we break these things, really put them through their paces. I am the front line with Scollar. I talk to customers all the time, so I understand what their concerns are and what their needs are. And the first thing, of course, is the tracking. But also, it's just the idea that to have one collar in one place. I don't know if you've gone to our website where there's this picture of my golden retriever, Zuko. He has all of these collars around his neck, the tracker, the anti-bark, the fence, the pet door. It's just this big old huge mess around his neck, and that's the equivalent weight of a can of beans. So a lot of what our customers are saying is that they honestly just cannot wait to have one collar that handles so many of these different functions and gives them a choice to make their pet care easier and convenient. And we're delighted to be able to offer that to them. All of us on the team have pets, and we're very devoted to making that easier for our customers as well as ourselves.
So what's next for Scollar? And by that, I mean, are there any big milestones or goals that you're aiming for over the next 12 months?
So our first and obvious goal is to meet our funding goal on SeedInvest. We're having great early traction, so we're very excited about that. We're going to continue to promote that everywhere. And then our next big goal is a huge milestone, is to deliver those first several hundred units to our Kickstarter and IndieGoGo backers in December. I'm pushing the team really hard to make that happen. As I've said, we are also engaging with our contract manufacturer now to build the betas so that we all learn right now and can actually meet that deadline. That's a really important one for us. And then, Neil, the biggest goal that I personally have as the CEO is to make Scollar ubiquitous. So when someone says, hey, I need a tracker, or I need this functionality, or I need a smart collar, that they think about us. And their friends have tried it and they love it, and it just becomes top of mind. So that's my ultimate goal for Scollar.
Oh man, sounds incredibly exciting journey that you guys are on at the moment. And there's going to be people listening to this show in around 150 countries. So I've got to ask, what territories are you shipping in at the moment, and what are your plans for the future? Right.
So with our Kickstarter campaign, we did open it up to international shipping, and we do have, amongst those 300 customers, we have customers from literally all over the world. Our job now is to figure out taxes and VATs and import fees and whatnot, and optimize those with where we ship from. So for our current pre-order through our store at Scollar.com, we're only shipping to the US and Canada. But as I said, we're already working on that because people, especially from the UK, I've had several customers say, when are you going to offer shipping to the UK? So we're looking into that right now, and we're hoping to open up international shipping mid-2018.
Well, before I let you go, can you remind the listeners of your website and where anybody listening can find out more information on where they can pick these collars up from? And equally, if they wanted to contact a member of your team, if they just had any questions about what we've talked about today.
Yeah, you bet. So our website is scollar.com, SCOLLAR.com. And then if people are interested to learn more about the company and maybe, invest a small amount in Scollar, be part of the journey with us, you can find that at SeedInvest.com/Scollar/seed. And if anyone would like to talk to me and ask a question, you can reach me at ltamayo@Scollar.com. That's LTAMAYO @Scollar.com. I'm happy to talk to people all the time. I'm on the phone and answering emails all day long.
Excellent. Well, a huge thank you for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it, especially as someone that's now got a 5-month-old rough collie that seems to be biting everything and keeping me up all night. But he is absolutely adorable, and we do love our pets and treat them like children. And I'm a tech guy too, so this ticks a lot of boxes. So a huge thank you for coming on today.
Thank you so much, Neil. It was my pleasure.
I genuinely love how Scollar is creating a universe of care for pets, all using technology. And to my knowledge, this is the only smart pet collar platform that changes with the dynamic needs of the pet. And it really does seem to make caring for pets as easy as loving them, like the tagline says. For me, it's the combination of services and functions of the app and the smart collar that ensures that our beloved pet gets the personalised care and attention they need that is so special about this. But I'd love to hear the thoughts and opinions of other pet lovers listening from all over the world. And you know what? I will gladly share pics of you and your pic too. So please, tweet me a pic at Neil C. Hughes, email them across to me at techblogwriter@outlook.com, or post a pic on the episode page over at techblogwriter.co.uk. It'd be great to see your pets as well and the kind of technology that you use, or even if you don't. As I always say, you guys are the show, and I love to hear from you, so please keep those messages coming through. But it's time for me to take little Finn for a walk. So I'll thank you for listening and say until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.